What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for hopefully a quick little informative video of how to offset your GSPro here to be able to match up from where you're hitting from versus having the line right down the middle. So I've never done this before. I kind of purposely left everything the same and kind of do this together to see how intensive this is, which I don't think is going to be very tough, but we're going to do this together on the fly here and see if we can actually get. So if you guys don't know what that means, offset basically means I'm over here because I'm short on space. Ideally, you would have enough room to where you could have a really big hitting mat. You'd be hitting perfectly in the center and you'd be hitting directly to the middle. So your middle line, granted the square would have to be here, but ideally you would be hitting basically from the middle of this mat and you would be aiming for this very center of the screen and you would have your middle line right down the middle. Because I'm short on space, I'm over here way off to the right. So realistically for me, the way that the square is set up right now, my straight line, I still need to add maybe a piece of tape or a laser here. I think this will actually help me a little bit with this. But basically my straight line is pretty close to this bag over here. So basically if you guys have seen me play these videos or hit shots on the range, do the live streams or actual courses, basically I need to aim over here to the right, which is a little bit deceiving and kind of counterintuitive because I actually had some friends and family over recently and kind of explained to them. I know it's kind of wonky, but really I know the ball's going to go that way, but you want to aim over here to the right, which is kind of counterintuitive. So realistically, if I just hit a quick shot, if I need to aim right for this bag over here on the range for me to be able to get the ball to go straight on the range. So I hit that a little bit left of the bag, but you get the idea. I need to hit it way over to the bottom right corner of the screen for the ball to be able to show up straight. Same thing on course. So what we're going to go through here real quick, which should be pretty easy, is just go into the settings and make it to where this center line here on the range will be offset over here to the right. You can do it for left-handed players and right-handed players, but it'll allow me to basically have a little more visual accuracy and representation of where my straight line should be over this way. So in order to be able to do that, I will note, you need to do a little bit of math beforehand. Just takes a quick Google, but you need to basically get the size of your screen in millimeters. But basically to be able to do this, you can do this in the main menu too, but you go up here to the top right. I made my video smaller so you guys can see this, but you go up to the top right for those 4 dots, you go into settings, you go over to visual settings up here at the top, and then over here on the left side, offset. So screen offset is right now is turned off. Launch visual offset editor. I didn't even see that before. All I saw was when I first clicked into this. This is how right out of the box, or like if you just get GSPro, you don't change anything. This is how it's going to look. So it's off. We can do the visual offset editor. I figured we'd do this on the range to make it a little bit easier, but it has it set to the average screen height or just whatever the default is 5,000 millimeters. So I did the math on mine. My screen is 9.8 feet by 9.8 feet. It's a perfect square. Again, I've said it a bunch of times. Highly recommend that because with the perfect square, although it doesn't fill up, my image doesn't fill up the entire screen, I'm able to rotate it 4 times. And because all my wear and tear, again, is down here in the bottom right, I can just continuously rotate this thing and get 4 times the life out of it. But 4.8 feet by 4.8 feet. I just got it from the Amazon listing, which is 118 inches by 118 inches. You convert that over to millimeters, and my screen width is 2,997.2 millimeters. So I had that written down just in case we're going to need that. I'm assuming we are. And what we're going to do is go over here. I'm definitely not a GSPro expert. Maybe you guys can tell me. Putting offset, I don't know if I'm going to want to do that as well, possibly. But first and foremost, we're going to click on screen offset. I'm going to put in that screen width of 2,997.2, again, millimeters. We're going to press save and exit. I don't think this is going to do anything, but right now at least it has my total width of the screen in there. So if we go back up into it, I think I was planning on just kind of doing it a little bit by little and getting it to match up, which you can do. So I'm assuming just for right-handed players, which I am, don't have room in here for lefties anyways, and you have to move the square. I'd assume I was just going to try to eyeball it and move it like 3/4 of the way. So for this, we can just try it to see if it works. Put in about, we'll try 2,400 and see if this moves it over. And it did not. Okay. Well, I guess this is why we're doing that on the fly, because I was expecting that center line to move over now, and that didn't happen. So, not sure why that didn't do that. Right-handed players, that should be offset. Putting, I guess we'll leave that off for now. All right, well, I guess we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to go ahead and click. We'll go 0. We'll go save and exit, so that's back to where it was. Maybe I didn't catch it. I don't think anything moved, but we're going to go back over here into offset now, and we're going to go launch visual offset editor. So, offset editor, left-handed, right-handed, putting offset, sun strength. That's usually the visual settings if you want to change the lighting. Offset enabled, toggle advanced. We'll see what this does. So, latitude, longitude, left-handed, right-handed. So, let's try. All right, we're moving. So if I line this up, we're way over here now. So I was expecting to have to put it in the millimeters, which I had that written down. Apparently you don't even have to do that. I guess you can kind of eyeball it. So right there, I moved this up about 80% of the way. We're going to press save and exit. I'm going to stand behind it. So now, as you can see, the center line is way more offset. I'm not sure if this actually visually catches my eye as good as maybe having it right down the middle. Now it kind of looks like we're a little bit off to the side. It makes me almost want to like pan over here, which if I press A, it wants to be over here, but if I stand behind it, that's actually really close right there. If anything, I could maybe move it a bit over to the left, but that's pretty close right there. So now if I stand behind it, I actually have, compared to where originally that bag used to be like down here where the balls are, I was aiming for that. Now I actually have a, I think that's the alignment stick over here. I think that's in the projector. I was thinking maybe there was a line in my screen or a smudge in it. But now I actually have a pretty definitive start line, which is nice. So just hitting a little approach wedge there. But even just doing that, that's way better right there. So to me, it looks a little wonky. I'm sure this will look better if I'm doing an actual course because everything will be lined up now. But again, if you stand behind it, it would help if I had a laser projector or a laser like alignment aid, or maybe if I put a either a couple clubs down or maybe my alignment stick and really fine tune this. But I think we kind of, honestly, I nailed that pretty close just by looking at it over to the side and kind of eyeballing it. That's way better the way it is. So we can go back into it one more time if you want to just take a look. We'll see if the settings changed at all. And I was like I said, I was anticipating of just having that 2,997.2 millimeters of my total screen width and having to kind of, I was going to start at like 2,400, but it seems like with that advanced offset editor, you don't even have to do that, which makes it even easier. So, all right, so never mind. Maybe I went way too far then. So right now it's set to 577. So you can, if you want to, you can go back into the Launch Visual Offset Editor and you can use the line to move it. You could also just change these numbers. So if you want to add a little bit, subtract a little bit, maybe you want to go up to 580 or back down to 570, you can change that there. But I'll have to see. Maybe someone can let me know down in the comments. Putting offset, you would assume if you're on the course that that line would be over there. Maybe it changes for putting, so maybe I'll want to turn that on, and maybe that'll be a separate video of how to do that. But if we go in one more time to the visual offset editor, that center line, again, I know it's kind of grayed out, but that actually looks pretty darn close. Maybe a little bit more to the right. How's that? If I stand behind it and kind of use my club and start in the middle of the mat and go up, that's pretty close right there. I'm pretty happy with that. And again, it's not going to be perfect. Really what I need to do, like I've been saying, is either put a white piece of tape down here, especially for putting, have a dead straight putt line. Same thing for hitting balls on course. But now with the range, at least you have the center line to where you can look up. Yeah, this is kind of a lot of dead space over here to the left, which before Personally, I think visually you got more of a visual appeal with the entire range, with everything looking right down the middle. But at least now I can look up, see my start line, see my center line right there, and I can either shut my stance down, aim to the right, aim to the left based on that, which overall should work out pretty well. And again, just hitting like little 100-yard choke down approach shots actually wasn't too bad, 99.7. But there you have it. So quick little how-to. I don't know how quick that was, but a little how-to video. If you guys were like me, set up something like this with a projector, you're wondering if hopefully Square, I've heard maybe that could be coming. Maybe Square will incorporate that into their native software, but something like GSPro with how advanced it is, all the different settings you can do, something pretty easy to where make things a little bit better, and you're able to judge your start line and your straight line a little bit better just by changing the offset like that. Same thing, I'm assuming, like I said, works for left-handed players if you're on the other side of the ball, or if you have possibly friends or family where you have to switch the launch monitor back and forth if you have an overhead unit or a unit behind you where you want. If lefties are over here, now instead of that being my straight line, if you're over here hitting this way, maybe you want a straight line that way too. I'm sure you could probably do both or one or the other, but there you have it. Hopefully that helped you out. I'm going to leave this here. Worst case scenario, I can always go back to the way it was and just go back to the default. I'll probably practice for a little bit on this, see if I like this, and then see what it looks like on course as well. And I'm assuming instead of having, again, I was over here to the right, my straight line would be behind me, so I would be hitting here and then kind of stepping back and seeing the ball fly that way, versus now having the straight line both here on the range, which is nice because you have the white line right down the middle, or the course. No side spin. I'm using a regular ball, and I have my club sticker on it. Maybe Square missed that one. I didn't look at the side spin on the other one. Was there a side spin on the last one or no? Let's hit a sizable hook. All right, we had side spin on that one, so maybe Square missed that one, but that one started right of the line, worked its way back left, 1300 side spin to the left. So that's pretty cool. Makes it line things up a little bit better. If I didn't do that right, and you guys are GSPro savants and experts, let me know if I can fine-tune it better. Maybe someone let me know what the putting offset does. That would be good to know. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. A little how-to video. Again, I purposely didn't do it before so we could kind of do this together and see how tough it was to get this to work. But overall, that was pretty easy, and I probably could have removed a couple of those steps. But like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out that pinned comment down below if you want to get the Square for just under $630 from SimSpace Golf. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.